Get your drinks and get comfy, besties, because we're deep dive into volume 3 of Thrice Married to a Salted Fish. If you have been following me, you know how much I love this Danmei series, how much I love our beautiful Lin Qingyu and his precious lazy husband. Volume 3, it is where the political stakes reach an absolutely boiling point. But more importantly, it is where the mutual devotion shine the brighter. This will be probably one of the most satisfying volumes of the entire series, and I'm bringing you with me. So you know the drill. Grab your favorite drink, settle in, get comfy, and let's go through volume 3 of Thrice Married to a Salted Fish together. I know, this was short, already 35 pages, and I love these two so much, and they are both down bad for each other. Obviously, if you read volume 2, you already know how much our salted fish adores and loves his wife. But Lin Qingyu, it is following the same path. And I have to quote here. First, I want to study medicine without any distraction. Second, I want to always be by the general side. It's so adorable because in every single little detail and interaction between our main lead and General Now and our main character, these hidden smiles from Lin Qingyu, his completely devotion to his husband is... I'm really so happy. I just read the chapter of the Latern Festival. So, yes. Lin Qingyu confession. Oh my god, they're so adorable. I cannot even. Obviously here I want to point out several things that I absolutely adore. First of all, the fact that our general bought all the flowers and gave it to Lin Qingyu, trying to express his feelings. And I think it's so adorable seeing our main lead trying to recite these old poems, right? And the fact that when they both lost each other in the crowd and Lin Qingyu was trying to find his husband, in the moment that he spotted him, they both look each other, and Lin Qingyu could clearly see how much our general loved him. Without realizing, walking towards him, ended up running just to arrive the sooner the better near his precious husband. They are so in love. But what I loved the most was actually the fact that Lin Qingyu used our main lead dialect, actually the mother word way of talk, actually mother slang, I will say, to confess to our general, saying, I have a crush on you too, wants to be in a relationship with me. So precious. Finally, our main characters are in the same page. It has been confirmed, not only in their confession, but also in the question that our general asks Lin Qingyu. So now, you are mine, right? I am yours. I had to deal with some work stuff, but I'm finally back to my reading. And I read till chapter 82. We already had the first kiss between our main couple, and it was adorable. And also the fun fact that actually, even though we have this general, this god of war, this body and build, fun fact, we got to learn that our general has actually a really small tongue, which I think it was like pretty fun, because if we know how many complex our main lead has due to his past bodies, first of all, he was reincarnated into this really sickly guy in death doors, basically, and now even though he could finally carry his wife with one of his regrets from his past life, we get to learn that, yeah, he actually have a tiny tongue. I think that was so much fun. And also the fact of seeing our main lead continue trying to pretend to be fine, to be basically trying to hold that mask of being cool in front of his wife, when we all know when they were kissing how loud his heartbeat was. But what I want to point out now, the moment in where we are right now, which is the high stakes political plot. Here I want to highlight as well what an amazing team Lin Qingyu and our general are. It's not only about their awesome chemistry and dynamic between each other and how they interact with each other, it's also how perfectly they fit together. And once again, how magnificent is our cold beauty when he uses poison and skin. Lin Qingyu character as a master doctor and brilliant strategic, it is seriously for me to say to the author, hands down, because even though he has the role of a wife, he's not a damsel. He's lethal. He's calculating and fiercely protective of his husband, yet completely soft and gentle only when they are alone. And then we have our favorite and fun salted fish, which is truly really hilarious and heartwarming to read. It's not only that he is completely the total contrast and opposite to his wife, doing the heavy political skill while he try to relax, eat snacks, and basically being a salted fish, which is his life goals, right? However, the moment they two unites forces, he becomes support the hand that will always hold Lin Qingyu. He may only want to be lazy and play around, but when it's times to be serious and when it's times to skin, our salted fish never disappoint. And one of the things that I love the most about it is how he used his intel and information about the novel and about everything, because remember, their reality is actually a novel that our main lead read when he was in the modern day before he transmigrated. So obviously he knows all the different characters, he knows all the hidden truth, and no doubts here he will use that to help his wife every single time. Obviously not everything is about political scheming. We got some fluffy and adorable moments, like for example the one in where the scorpion that Lin Qingyu was raising to use later as a poison was accidentally off, and how he was so upset and sad about that, and how actually our general even felt jealous about a scorpion because his wife only gave attention to it. Adorable. I mean, I was laughing so bad at that illustration. We're getting pretty close to the moment of the cover. We're pretty close to say goodbye to the second marriage. I needed to come here before I jump into it because I wanted us to enjoy little moments between our main couple. They finally got some intimate moments together. We could finally see that even though Lin Qingyu always is perceived as this cold beauty, actually this cold beauty can get pretty hot and burn with passion. Once again, I feel like I'm repeating myself because I'm only saying it's adorable, it's really cute, but it truly is so lovely seeing how these two inexperienced men get to learn together how to enjoy themselves in a more deeply and intimate way. Before I continue, I want to summarize a bit in where we are at the moment. The protagonist of the novel is world in where our main couple live. It is actually a novel that our main lead read before he transmitted into it. So the protagonist of this novel, who was the shadow world, this poor man who has been through so much suffering by the hands of his beloved one, he suddenly disappeared. The main lead of this novel, the past crown prince, that bastard and scumbag, is finally gone. the emperor died as well, and now we got to see a new ruler in this country, who was the prince that Lin Qingyu, our general, helped and support to reach that position. And even though things supposed to be calm, they supposed to enjoy finally some peace, we got the news that their enemy country has attacked once again, and that the defenses, the border that our general used to hold and fight for over a decade, was taken by the hands of their enemy. You know what this means? It means that obviously our general needs to go there. Yeah. I'm laughing to avoid crying, to be honest. I already cried my eyes out once again. Yay! I already had to say goodbye to our general and see how afraid he was, not only because he was actually in a life or death situation, he was truly about to face a horrible battle, but overall, it wasn't the battle, it wasn't going to war, it wasn't actually seeing his life flying away. What our general feared the most was actually to die and then make Lin Qingyu unhappy, sad, and devastated again. Basically, to not being able to fulfill the promise. But to be honest, even though that moment was really devastating, that was nothing compared to the dream chapter. If we have to point out the most heartbreaking part of the entire volume, we may thought at the beginning that it was going to be obviously the cover, right? The most heartbreaking part in the entire volume was actually the dream scene. Yeah, I'm sorry, I even took a break to try to pull myself together, but it's just so tough. It hits harder, not only because what the dream represents, right? And not only because of how hopeless, desperate our main character are, is actually seeing Lin Qingyu being completely broken. And I think we can all agree that when you have this kind of characters who are stoic, who are cold, who are always composed, when you see this kind of person not only showing you a gentle and soft side of themselves to their beloved one, but when you see them broken and crying their eyes out without any comfort, is unavoidable to join them and being broken with them. And for you to have an idea that how desperate Lin Qingyu was, he was trying to fool himself, he was trying to lie to himself and to his rational side that he has, just by not allowing himself to actually face the reality and the meaning of his reunion with our main lead in his real form and body, because that meant that his soul was already out. And obviously we all know what that means, that the body that he used to own is no longer with us. I truly don't know what to say. I'm sorry if this is a mess, but this is truly the most real reaction and review and blog and whatever you're gonna call this that you ever gonna get. I can swear it to you. But we have to continue. We're finally reaching the last stop, this ride. I truly hope so. If you have been paying attention during the entire volume, you have probably guessed already who is gonna be the next body that our main lead is gonna own. It has been teased several times, and the author actually did a really great job educating us and preparing us for this, explaining what happened to a body who doesn't own a soul, who is the one who is missing a soul in this novel, and who is, funny enough, another beauty, just like our main lead. Yes, looks like finally the body who has been longing for its right soul to be back is gonna find it soon. So let's gonna move to a happier times now. And is done. And as you can see for the light now, I did put an all neither. Obviously, I have to say that this is without any doubt 5 out of 5 stars. But before I jump into the little summary and share some of my thoughts about this volume, I want to point out how shocking and truly heart-touching was to see Lin Qingyu completely devastated and going basically crazy beyond himself once he realized that his husband was gone. His body went through so much grief and joy at the same time for being reunited again with his loved one that he basically couldn't handle it. But still, even though I cried my eyes out, even though this volume truly was tough to read some parts, I cannot avoid smiling and feeling happy now. They're both has been reunited. And finally we reach the third husband to be, in this case now, finally reach the reunion of two souls that were completely intertwined since the very beginning of the novel and that cannot move on with their life without the other. This is the magic of reading Danmei. The fact that actually our main lead, he actually finally found his own body. The fact that his soul has been wandering around, jumping from one body to another till he finally reached his own. I think it was genius, to be honest, because in this case it's not only that we have a transmigration story in where our main lead just get to own the body of another person. It gave me the feeling as if actually our main lead went back to the body of his ancestor himself in the past. I don't know how to explain it. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Seriously, I cannot avoid feeling amazed on how genius was writing down and pulling all of this together, because once again it is actually the first time that I read this kind of Danmei story. As I said, this stupid smile is not gonna leave my face. We went through the reading, we went through this mess together, and now it's time for us to actually do a real deep dive about Thrice Married to a Salted Fish Volume 3, because beyond all the fun of the political schemes, this volume does something brilliant with its course theme. It is basically what I mentioned before, what makes Volume 3 stand out so much, and why I think this is a big Danmei is actually how it handles the identity and the soul recognition. This is the most romantic Danmei and the most beautiful romance story that I read in a while. And let me tell you exactly why I'm saying. Lin Qingyu, our main character devotion, is so profound because he just doesn't love a pretty face. He just doesn't love a title. He loves the specific, chaotic, and sometimes lazy soul of his husband. And this proves us once again why this genre cannot compare to other, why at least for me it is in the top tier, because love here is not about the physical appearance but about recognizing someone's core essence no matter what form they take. And obviously once again I have to highlight how refreshing and amazing our main character dynamic is, because in so many stories actually you will see this kind of novel actions in where one of the love interests will hide the truth and keep a lot of secret from his loved one just because they want to protect him. But here is one of the titles in where miscommunication is not a problem. As we know, our main character, Lin Qingyu, is cold, is calculating. He has a lethal mastermind. But instead of trying to change him and make him try to walk the rightful path, his husband, or salted fish, completely accept his dark side and stand behind him. And that is exactly the most beautiful thing, that they don't try to fix each other. They balance each other perfectly. If I have to summarize everything in one single phrase, I will say that Volume 3 proves how it's possible to have this take political court drama while having a healthy, deeply trusting romance dynamic. And this will be it. If you stay up until now, seriously, thank you so much, bestie, for watching. I know this video was a mess. Probably it didn't have much sense sometimes, but I truly wanted to bring you my most honest review and reading blog, as if we were truly having a buddy reading together. So still, I hope you enjoyed this video. I truly hope you enjoy reading this volume. And please, now is your time to let me know which were the moments that truly hit you during reading Thrice Married to a Salted Fish Volume 3, and which was your overall feedback about this amazing volume. I personally, as you can already imagine, cannot wait for the last volume of this series. I'm not gonna give any predictions, but I truly would love to see our main character Lin Qingyu going to the modern day. I don't know how, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that will be pretty awesome, to be honest. So if you love obsessing over BL as much as I do, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. As usual, have an amazing one. We talk later in the comments, and see you in the next video.